Welcome back. Today's video is on seat settings and how to keep yourself safe. If you have knee injuries, elbow injuries, anything in your hip or shoulder, anything of that nature, even the lower back, you'll need to adjust your seat settings to keep yourself safe when you're doing exercise. And this video is all about that. Before we get started, in the description box and also in the comments, there's a place for you to download a free PDF document. It's only about 7 pages long, but it covers on a couple pages exactly the modifications that you would need to keep yourself safe. Now, this video is going to go even deeper into depth about these things. I'm very excited for next week because I'm going to be launching a huge course. This is going to be about 5 hours long. Not only is it going to go over workshops for multiple different types of machines that you'd find at gyms, exactly how to keep yourself safe on all of them with any injuries whatsoever. This is going to be huge though, because this is the very first course of its kind. I'm going to go through all 3 of the ways that exercise extends our life and helps protect our bodies, a full goal-setting workshop. And what I mean by that is something very powerful. The way to keep yourself motivated into doing exercise consistently is to set real goals. And I'm going to guide you through that in this course. Like I said, seat settings workshop, but a full guide with multiple examples on live trainings, the cues you need to be thinking about in your head while you're doing this, exactly how to progress your weights in a manner that's going to keep getting you those health benefits from exercise, and so much more. I'm even going to be offering at a higher tier a consultation where you could chat with me, just a one-on-one session, so you can get the most out of this, especially about things like nutrition, anything of that nature. So diving into today's video, I've taken a snapshot of my course. Now this is just a very small sample from the course itself that I took out from one of the videos, maybe half of that video. It's going to give you everything you need to know for safety settings on the leg press if you're having any pain anywhere while doing that. And then it's going to flip over to my very first workshop that I filmed, which I'm not going to use for my course, but I filmed this video at the first time that I went to work out at Planet Fitness. I'm going to have a full section on how to set those machines up for safety for absolutely any of y'all. And then it's going to go at the very end to a section for the lat pull down. And these are very quick videos. Those won't be a part of my course. They'll be way more detailed in my course. I just shot those videos for this specific video for today. So I hope you really get something out of this. I hope you download that PDF because once again, it's completely free for you to do so. Sign up for my mailing list, and here are those safety videos. I'm looking forward to seeing you soon on the next video. I'll have a couple more this week. So the most important thing is to really make sure that your seat settings are set up just right. There's 2 joints to pay attention to for this, and it's going to be your knees and then your hips. And if you have any hip or knee pain, then I'm going to show you right here exactly how to set up your machines. My left knee has always had a problem. I have chondromalacia in it, and I'm just not going to have surgery on it because it's not necessary, truly. So I just do strength training to strengthen the area, of course, around my knee. So the best way to start for any of us with knee problems is to begin at 90 degrees and nothing further back than that. Nothing with a lesser angle than 90 degrees would be preferable if you can. And that's going to make sure that you don't have pinching. Now, I'll show you how I have this set up for my own setting. And I'll apply a little bit of pressure through the heels so you can see that I begin right there. You can see this is a little bit more than 90 degrees. It's about 95 degrees, I would say. And so this is an ideal starting point if you do begin to have any pain in your knees through this. You could do 2 different things. You could move your feet up higher on the pedal, which is actually going to apply more engagement through the glutes and less engagement through the quadriceps. You can absolutely do that. But my recommendation first is to just bring the seat back a little bit. It really is that simple. And of course, different machines have different ways to do this. For Nautilus, it's super easy because every single seat setting changer has a yellow handle on it. So for this one, of course, just bring it back a little bit more. This is going to be the same thing, not just for your knees, but also to save your hips if you do have any hip problems. And so you can tell that this has changed my angle just a tiny bit. This was 2 notches back that I moved this backward. And this gives a little bit more angle as a beginning point. Now your range of motion is going to be quite a bit less, and that's absolutely fine. We want to reach momentary muscular failure safely without putting too much pressure on our joints that might be weak or might have a corrective issue or pain in them. We just want to stay away from pain, especially through the workout. So if those things are true about the hips and the knees, the same thing is going to be true for the lower back. I have chronic lower back issues. My parents actually do too in this workout. So we all have our seat the furthest back down to the ground as possible. When you think about a leg press, what we're really doing is a squat. Now the reason that machines, of course, are safer to use than a squat is because it's a lot more difficult to get perfect form in a squatting position. And so where it would take maybe 5 sessions to really get your form perfect, we could put someone on a leg press and get them to a deep fatigue on maybe their second session, in a safe manner. And that's absolutely what we want here. If you have no lower back problems, then of course you could just raise this up and keep it a little bit higher. In my case, when I demonstrate just sitting in this, I'm going to have to bring this back a little bit so my knees aren't pushed up against it. But the same thing's true right here. If I didn't have lower back problems, then this is probably where I would put my setting. Because my knees are still here at 90 degrees, or a little bit more than 90 degrees, 95, 100, somewhere like that. But I'm kind of squeezed into this upward. Now the difference if you see people doing a squat is that when the seat's down all the way, it's almost like doing a squat standing almost upward completely. Now if that seat was down more, it would put more pressure in the lower back when you were doing a squat, just in that manner. So this simulates that same movement, of course. And when it comes to any of this safety, just creating a larger angle is going to be the fix. So same thing with all of these videos. Please, if you have questions at all about any pain you might be feeling, I'd love for you to comment down below, because then I can help you. It's very important that I'm able to do so, and I will answer everybody's questions in these courses. It's imperative that I'm able to help every single person. So with this being true, there are still many clients over the years that I've worked with who have still had some hip pain, some knee pain when they're doing this and moving through a range of motion. So my advice to those of you who can't shake, let's say you brought that seat back maybe 3 different times with experimentation, and you still can't shake that knee pain, you still can't shake that hip pain, the best way to go about this is to begin the exercise and only push out about halfway. Just hold it in that position. This is a timed static contraction. Some people would call it an isometric. And what it's going to do is just very slowly push you downward. We want to assume and pretend that we can hold it in that position indefinitely. But, if we're doing this properly and the weights are heavy enough in order to get us to that momentary muscular failure, then it's going to push us down, and it's going to do so in less than 2 minutes is our objective. Of course, I've mentioned all of this in other videos. This is really it for the leg press. Again, if there are any questions, please drop them down below. And it's possible that I will update all of these videos as more questions are added, so I can just answer your questions in the video. We will move on to the next exercise.
All right, this is my very first time at Planet Fitness looking to use these purple machines. This is a leg press, of course, and this is a weird one to set up. I mean, I say it's weird. You just grip this upward, and it slides the seat up and down, and you're basically going to be pushing your own body upward, but the seat settings are deep inside of here, which is super weird. So I wouldn't even know what to call this. A 5, maybe? Maybe an 8? I don't know. It only goes down to a 3. So that's not even visible. So that's a 1. That's a 2. That's a 3. And that would be a 4. Let's try that. It only goes up to 320 or 330 with that extra 10 pounds. So I'm going to give this a shot. I might be on this machine for 10 minutes, and that's not ideal. So I'm probably going to end up using a different leg press here because they do have another one that's not as safe, but that's why I'm showing you this one. It is the safe one here at Planet Fitness. So let's get started. So the pull down here at Planet Fitness, there's only one real setting that you're able to change with the seat settings, and that's how far up and down the seat is. Just pull the lever up, and then you can adjust it down or up as needed. Now, you can set a gap in the machine like I was talking about in some of these other videos, where you grab the handle here and then you pull the pin out and create a gap. So I'm going to grab the handle and do that. That puts a gap in the machine to where if your elbows or your shoulders have pain, that'll keep that from happening.